Hey y'all, today we're on the farm and we're going to be talking about plants and some different things that we grow here on the farm and what plants need. So what do you think that a plant needs? They need sun, they need soil, they need water, and they need nutrients. So we'll talk about how here on our farm that we make all that happen way before they ever go outside. And it's pretty cool. So I don't have a greenhouse. So what we do here on the farm, Felicia wants to say hi. Hold on. She's dramatic. Say hey everybody. Say hey y'all. So this is Felicia. She has nothing to do with today's video, but she follows me around and she demands my attention. She was pecking on my feet. So we're gonna say hi, Felicia. So she's about 1.5 years old. She was kind of like Twinkie. She had to have a lot of attention last spring when she hatched, and she stayed in the house quite a while, and now she's spoiled rotten and has to be held all the time. So say hi. Okay, you go be a chicken. Okay, so anyway, so here on our farm we don't have a greenhouse yet. So what we do is we grow plants inside, and how we do that is we're out in my shed. This is our feed shed. And so we have this shelf. We have these lamps that we call heat lamps. So it's just two. Flip it up so you can see it. It's got the light bulbs in there. And we've got seed mats right here. I don't know if you can see them. Seed mats are warm, but they're not hot. So it's not as hot as a light bulb. So what we do is we get these little plastic trays. Some of you probably have bought flowers from the store or somewhere. And that's exactly what they are. They're just recycled. So we try to use things up as much as possible until we just can't use it anymore. So this was, let's see, this was a petunia from last year, but it's not. So what we do is we put soil inside, because plants need soil, right? We get a good potty or soil mix. We put 2 or 3 seeds. It just depends on what it is and how big it gets. We cover that up and we water it. And then we place it in this tray. So this tray has no holes in the bottom. So what I'll do is once we get the seeds ready, then we put all of that in there and take the water jug and just pour some water in. And what happens is, because those roots have to reach down like they do in the soil, I don't know if you can see them, they make really, really long roots. They're sticking way out of there. And so that makes really, really strong plants. Can you maybe figure out what kind of plant this might be? What's your guess? Any ideas? Oh, this is a green cabbage. And this year we're growing several different kinds. Most of these up here are either cabbages or Brussels sprouts, and they look a lot alike. But today I wanted to talk to you about up potting. So what that means is when we plant those seeds in the cells, you can see this is a tomato. This one's called a jelly bean tomato. They're really, really tiny little cherry tomatoes, and they're so good, but they're really long like a jelly bean. And this is one of my favorites. So I did the same thing. This is just a different kind of pot. So I put 2 seeds in, and thankfully this time we had 2 beautiful seedlings, and they're getting big enough now that what we're going to do is we're going to take them out and we're going to up pot them. That means give them their own pot so that they can get bigger until it's time to put them out. So tomatoes, you know, you want them really, really big before we put them out. And we'll do another video on that one day, maybe. So what we do is we gently just flip it over. We kind of shake it a little bit. Can you see those roots sticking out? Yeah, it needs a new pot, big time. So then you can see it. Let you look around. Sorry, it's getting dark. Or darker. Lots of big roots. So all we do is we just take it gently and we pull it apart. You see? Now, ooh, we lost some dirt. That's okay. Felicia will scratch it around. So now we have 2 plants with their own roots. And now what we're going to do is, and I know you can't see this, I'm sorry. I tried to film it over here, but it was just too dark. So we get a pot. Got a new pot. This one's a lot bigger, isn't it? Put that tomato in there. Give it lots of soil on top. So now, and I'll do that with the other one, we'll have 2 pots for those tomatoes to grow in. This one's not having any dirt yet, but so now we'll have 2 pots, and those tomatoes' roots can get really big and really strong, and the tomato plant, the stem and the leaves can get really, really big until it's time to go outside. So what I'm going to do is, once we're done reading the book, I've got a whole tray, just like this, or 2 or 3 trays actually, of tomatoes that need to be up potted. So that's what I was going to do today, and I thought you might like to see it. So that's what we're looking for. So once I'm all done, I'll put these back into a tray, and I'll water them, and we'll keep them inside several more weeks before we're ready to put these out, because it could still frost at any time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put the tomatoes down in my little tray over here, and we're going to read a book called, oh, I got it dirty, The Carrot Seed. Have you ever read this book before? It is really cute. So what do you think is going to happen? We've got a little fella and a seed. We're not planting seeds today, but I think you'll still like this book. The Carrot Seed. A little boy planted a carrot seed. Carrot seeds are so tiny. His mother said, "I'm afraid it just won't come up." I think every gardener is afraid that it just won't come up. Do you remember what that word is called? Germinate. Very good. That it just won't germinate. His father said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." So mom's afraid, dad's afraid. Do you think the little boy's afraid? I don't know. And his big brother said, "It won't come up." Did you hear Felicia? She likes to hear the books too. Every day the little boy pulled up the weeds around the seed, and he sprinkled the ground with water. So he's pulling up the weeds, because we don't want weeds, right? Because our plant can't grow if there's weeds. And he watered it. But nothing came up. Ooh, my hands are dirty, aren't they? I'm sorry. And nothing came up. Do you think it takes a little bit of time to germinate or a long time to germinate? What do you think? Well, like I said, these cabbages were planted toward the end of March, and it's May. So these are about 6 weeks old. 6 weeks is a long time to just get that big, isn't it? The tomatoes are about 8 weeks. So 8 weeks to get that big. So do you think that his seed is going to sprout quickly, or it's going to take a while? It's going to take a while, isn't it? But he still pulled up the weeds around it every day, and he sprinkled the ground with water. Us gardeners, we have to be very patient, don't we? Very patient. And then one day, you see what's happening? I don't know. Something's happening. Looks like little speckles. A carrot came up. Oh my goodness. Now, do you think it really came up all of that at one time? Probably not. It was little, then it got big. But it's fiction, right? Fiction can be anything. Just as the little boy had known it would. Look at that big, huge carrot. He had to put it in a wheelbarrow. So, don't you let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. You just try, right? That's part of all this. For as many of these as are full, there are just as many that didn't come up. But we're not going to let that stop us, right? That's part of my work today, is to split the ones that need to be split, or up pot them, and plant something new in the things that didn't come up, and just keep going, right? So you don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, okay? You try your best, and if it fails, that's okay. You start over, you try again, right? especially in gardening and growing flowers and plants. You can just keep on going and keep on trying, right? So I'll see you soon. I hope you like this book. Love you. Bye.